call it professionals, dog. We would have never let that go without the protective coat. I mean, it's the desert, you know. We know better than that.
So, let's jump in.
Yeah, are we recording? Holy shit!
We are recording.
All right, let's do it.
So, slightly interesting podcast. No wheels, just flying.
Literally.
Kind of off the cuff, you know. Glad to finally get you in here.
Yeah, thank you, man.
It's been a while.
Yeah, still being here. I like it here.
And I think you have a lot of stuff going on. You have a lot of experience and a lot of different things. And I think that your story and message could help to either motivate people or help them get through some slumps or whatever.
Word. Yeah.
So yeah, I just kind of want to chat, you know.
Yeah. Thank you for having me, bro. This is, you know, I like being here. This is a very chill environment. So it's a pleasure, man.
How long have you been doing the Flat Shop?
I'm going on my 9th year this year, altogether. Yeah, it is crazy. Feels like it just flew by, but yeah.
How did you come up with that concept? Because
I mean, to be honest, man, I've been, so originally it was supposed to just be a retail store. I've been selling spray paint and, you know, artist supplies for years before that. Just because it was something that I like to do,
Yeah.
you know? And then eventually I just decided to make it a 9 to 5, you know, follow my dreams and all that, man. And prior to starting the company, I worked for a corporation type deal, and I just let it go, man, and just decided again, like, just to follow my dreams. And I just wanted to take it serious, you know, and I did. And I felt like it was time for me to really take control of my own destiny, you know. So that's what happened. That's how that started. You know, I wanted to follow my passion, and that's what I like to do. It's what I still like to do. So that's why I enjoy it so much, because it's literally living my dream.
yeah, I was
You
just
know?
thinking that right now. That's
Yeah,
what you do.
yeah. I mean,
You love.
yeah, it could be a nightmare too, though.
Yeah.
but it's you know, it's cool. You
Comes
know,
with challenges. Right?
it is, and it makes you better, if anything, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
And then, so you kind of you have helped shape and develop the culture, you know, out here in the desert over the last 10 years. Like, that's the go-to place. Who did you have to kind of inspire you? Like, when you did all this before you turned into a business, like, what were you doing that helped you find all this? Because not everybody finds out that there's so much more to it. You know, you think like, oh, it's.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely people before me that have done this concept in regards to, like, selling art supplies and things, and even having a gallery, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. You know, I've always seen other people do it. Maybe not so much here in the desert, although there was people before me that were here for a few years or whatever. And I just essentially just decided that it's something that I just want to do, you know?
For me, like, I had never even heard of anything or seen anything like that. So
Yeah, well,
it's really cool. It's a cool concept.
I think the challenge for me was to create something that wasn't already here, right? And it was very important for me to, I mean, in regards to, like, the whole culture thing, like, the culture itself was already here. It's always been here. I just think that I saw a need for something to be more of a hub for that culture.
Yeah.
And that's where I just said, you know what, I'll start with just my close friends, right? And then it just kind of grew and just domino effect, you know, all the way through, basically, right? It's like they say, if you build it, they will come, you know? So that's kind of how it just took off, you know? It started as retail, then it went into a gallery, and then I just started getting creative, because, as you know, when you're doing it and you're the only one doing it, especially here, I didn't see much. There wasn't really much to look at outside or within the desert to say, oh, you know, they're doing it like that. And not only that, I didn't really want to look You know, I wanted to just stay in my own lane. So I just did what I could to try to make things interesting and challenge myself. And essentially what happened was I just kept kind of moving forward, right?
Yeah.
Just
You
climbing. And yeah, as I went along. There was really no plan, bro. I mean, I made it up as I went. I still don't know what the hell I'm doing. You know, just kind of building off of what I did last. I'll do it myself over and over.
That's funny. I was saying that today. I was like, you like a door will close or open, and then you find a window, you climb in, and you
That's
crawl.
it.
Right?
That's
you know,
it.
it's
That's
always
really
something.
what it is.
Like
yeah.
it's never consistent. It's always different challenges.
Yeah, yeah, and the challenges get more and more interesting as you go, you know, because you put yourself in a certain level and then now you have to kind of like, you think that's like the top level and you're like, oh, damn, I did that. And then it's like, now you have to outdo that,
Yeah.
you know, so you're just outdoing yourself over and over and
It's
over.
always growing.
Yeah, yeah. That's what makes it interesting, man,
Yeah.
you know.
That's a long time. 10 years. It's
Yeah, it'll be 10 years next year, but it's, yeah, it is, I feel, for
was
having
it
a
always
business.
in that location? You moved.
No, so it started, I've always been in Palm Desert.
Mhm.
But it went from like a warehouse, like literally a little warehouse, that wasn't even really set for retail. It was like in a little mechanic area where like people just mostly did like car washes or mechanic work.
Yeah.
So it was like more of like, if you know type deal. And then eventually I moved from there to another spot off of 111, which had a real chill vibe to it as well. It was sort of small. And then just went from that to the mall.
Mhm.
Yeah. So just kind of try to scale up as I went, you know,
Yeah.
which put me in a really tough position too, man, because I feel like I scaled really fast. And now the last few years, I'm just like, dang, what do I do now, you know? But there's always some up my sleeve.
That's good.
So yeah, man.
So as you've gone along, like I'm sure you've built a team of people that you work with that help
Sure.
you with these things.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's, you know, I can't imagine doing all of this without having a team. You know,
Yeah.
it's important to have a team. And also having, you know, a loving wife at home and people just like, you know,
Yeah.
cheering you on and stuff
part
like
of the
that,
team.
you know? But yeah, dude, I mean, ultimately, to be totally honest, man, a lot of this in the first few years, I kind of just did it myself. Like my wife and I just kind of grinded it out, just focusing like for the first maybe 5 years.
Yeah.
And then once I elevated to this last shop is when I started having employees and stuff. And that's what helped me really see things from different perspectives and get other people's visions, you
Yeah.
know, and it helped, you know,
Yeah.
obviously.
Sure.
Plus, a lot of the things we do consist of having other artists involved and things like that. So, absolutely.
I mean, that's so like we were talking a little bit earlier. That's kind of the struggle. You know, where the challenge is, I guess, is me. Like I'm the same. Like I do pretty much everything myself up to this point with the help of my family
Sure.
and you know friends and stuff. As I mostly myself, but anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
And so trying to find good quality people, like that's a challenge. That's a struggle because you never know. You're taking a risk with everybody as you go forward. So what kind of things have you learned? I think in finding these people. Like I'm sure you had some winners and some
Yeah,
things that
of
didn't
course.
work out. You know.
Yeah, you know,
said.
but I was never like, I never like turned anything down though. You know, like I never let it get, I never was like shielding off people because I wouldn't understand until I found out for myself what this consists of, right? So I gave everybody an opportunity that I felt like could be an asset. And not everybody worked out, and that's okay, you know, but it's just a matter of just feeling people out, you know. And then, you know, you'll see some red flags and maybe you just got to back away, you know. But, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I never wanted to, like, be that person that's like, I don't want to mess with nobody. I'm just, you know, going to do it myself because, in my opinion, you're never going to grow from that. You know, you put people in positions where their expertise might be more than yours. I don't know everything, you know what I mean? So that's kind of helped me in a lot of ways, kind of weaving out the people that were really meant to be here. And but yeah, I've met some cool people along the way either way,
Yeah.
you know.
have to work closely.
Yeah, absolutely, most definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. So aside from Flat Black, you've had other things that you've been working on, I'm sure. What are some of those things that you want to share?
Some things I can't share, but then there's others like I've been working with my buddy Joe, who you know, on some things in the cannabis industry. Um, just little things here and there, you know,
Yeah.
just things that I can use my expertise on that I mostly gained from being a shop owner, you know, things like that. Yeah.
Any thoughts to build and go to other locations, or what do you?
Yeah. You know, not so much right at this very moment, but I assume eventually. I don't know that I necessarily want to move from where I'm at. Maybe open up a different store in another city, maybe outside of the desert. But I like where I'm at, dude. But there's always room for growth, man. I'm always open to a suggestion. I'm always open to ideas. I'm always, you know, I don't ever want to. I'm not the kind of person that just stays settled down in one spot either, you know. So I don't know. It's just I'm just playing it by ear, you know. 10 years in, and I'm like, you know. And sometimes I figure, or I think like, well, you know, what do I do? Do I just sell the company, you know, or do I expand? Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of these things that come into my mind that I have to like really consider, you know. So it's a trip, man. But there's always definitely gonna be some kind of elevating involved somehow, some way, you know. Yeah, for sure.
What would you say to? Actually, I saw something the other day. It was cool. It was like, what would you say to younger you? And I was kind of stuck on that. Like,
Somebody asked me that, and I got stuck on it.
it's tough.
It is tough, and you know what? I always see these podcasts where people get asked that, or just interviews in general, and I'm like, oh, you know, I would have said that, you know. But it's like when you're in a spot, it's different. But honestly, man, I would definitely say to not. I would say to stay focused and not give up. And that there's gonna be better days, you know, for sure, man. Because there was, you know, obviously when we're all young, we go through things, you know, and there was days where I was lost, man, and I didn't know what I wanted to do, you know. I kind of had a vision of what I wanted to do, but there was just so many distractions going on around me, and you feel like, damn, like I'm not destined to do anything other than just the regular basic 9 to 5, whatever, you know. But I would definitely say don't give up and keep pushing, you know, because that's how I made it this far.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I
good.
mean? Yeah.
And that's
Sure.
the hope. I mean, that's the hope of that, is just trying to find those little things that can kind of motivate people. That we were kind of talking about a little bit before.
Yeah.
It's always challenging. There's always some kind of obstacle or thing.
Yeah, but that's what makes you stronger, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what makes you a better person. That's what makes you really see things for what they are, is these challenges. And like, I've learned to embrace these things now, you know. I don't like them, but I understand them a little better, and I appreciate them because it makes me, it challenges me to overcome, you know. And I like that, to be honest. I like a challenge, man.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
me too.
Like,
Me too.
when you have it too easy, it's just like you don't really appreciate much. You know, you take too much for granted.
Yeah.
You know, and at this point in my life, I'm just like, man, like life's a trip, man. You know what I mean? And I don't take anything for granted, and I'm very grateful for the experiences that I've came across, and the challenges and all that. You know, it's been cool, man. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Cranking along. The your family. How do you find time? Do you find time? Like,
Yeah, I always make time, bro.
Is that's up there on the list?
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, you know what, to me, being a boss is literally being able to be with your family and create your own schedule. Because if it wasn't that, then none of this would be even worth it, bro. Like, to be honest, like, it's not always like all good, like where I could just leave or do whatever, but I definitely do make it a point to spend some time with my family.
Yeah.
You know, if things need to be put off to the side and And, you know, I see that my wife or my kids, they, you know, they want to take a little trip or whatever, you know, whatever I can do to make them happy, that's what I'm gonna do, bro. Yeah, that's very important, man.
I think it's hard. It's hard for people to find the ability to do that. Even myself, like I was
Yeah.
talking about, like you have to make that a priority.
You have to make it a priority. Yeah, I could be I could be overwhelmed by it and just not even, I could find an excuse to not be able to have time,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm always gonna be busy, you know? I think
Yeah.
it's just a matter of making it the top priority.
It's funny. It's so funny that you say that because that's exactly what it is. And I
Yeah.
said it to myself. Like, I can always blame work. You know.
Oh,
like
it's easy to do that, you know, and it's justified. It's
Yeah.
work, right? But at some point, man, you have to realize that, you know, life is short, bro. What are you gonna just tell yourself that forever and then
you miss
and
it
then
all.
what? Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, that day might never come where you get to chill, you know, with your family. So I try to do my best to spend the time with them now as much as I can. And that's where the employee situation comes in hand with the people around me. Like, I'm able to put my trust into these people to run the business. And, you know, I'm trying my best to teach them how to be responsible and how to run the business. So maybe one day they could go off and run their own business, you know.
Yeah.
But everybody wins in that situation, man.
Mhm.
You know,
Helping people grow.
helping people grow, and then they're down for you, you know,
Yeah.
and they hold you down, and you put a little bit more trust in them, and they're, you know, you have a little bit more time to just chill out, you know. So yeah, man, like I said, I don't know it all, bro. Like, I can't do it all either, you know. I'm not gonna fool myself, you know.
It's hard.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Well, I mean, I'm willing to try. I've done it.
Stuff.
I'll go ham. You know, I've done it. You know, I did it for years. But you reach a certain age, a certain time in your life where you're like, yo, man, like, am I gonna just sit here and keep complaining about how I'm just working too much and I don't have time, or are you gonna make time? That's where, you know, you get there at one point.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people go through that. Just in these conversations and talking with each other, that's how you kind of figure out like what could
Yeah.
be your next step or what,
Sure.
you know, one way to approach it. It's definitely important.
Most def. I agree.
Here in the desert, we've got all kinds of stuff coming up. What is it? Coachella, Stagecoach.
It's that time of the year.
Any plans to do anything with that stuff? You go see anything and do anything?
Probably won't be at Coachella Fest this year. I don't have anything planned just yet in regards to art. For the last couple of years, I've gotten phone calls to be, you know, a part of something when it comes to like Coachella Fest or even Stagecoach, but I haven't got a call this year. So,
Yeah.
and that's all right. I'm chilling, you know. We actually have a lot going on outside of that, so we're pretty occupied as it is anyways. But no, I just, you know, because I'm a business owner, I guess in the sense it affects me in a good way because it brings a lot of people out.
Yeah.
So I just focus on that, you know. I mean, it's just 1 month out of the year where people are in town, and whatever, man. It's not a big deal to me, bro. Like, I don't, yeah, it's dope. I mean, I get it, but yeah,
Yeah.
chill.
That's me too. Everybody's like, you going? And I'm like, because there's people that go every single year.
Yeah, if
They've
you're
never missed-
dedicated, that's sick, bro. I mean, shit, you know, I don't
I
blame
just
you.
wondered, like, did you go?
Yeah, no, I'm not like, you know, I'm not. Nah, that's not my. It's not my vibe. Yeah. Not this year.
Yeah. That's interesting. You never know. It's such a big draw with you.
Yeah, it is.
You go to any music festivals, anything like that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm super into music festivals, man. Well, I wouldn't say festivals. I'd say like concerts.
Yeah.
You know, my wife and I do that. So like, I think it's next month. It's in May. There's this one in particular, Cypress Hill. I think.
I think I saw you post something.
Yeah,
that's cool.
it's a dope lineup, man. I brain
Yeah.
fart. I can't think of the rest, so I know it's really dope.
That's cool.
Artist, but doing that, you know, that kind of stuff I'm into, bro. You know, I dig it. I'll go in there and do my thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to go more. Like, I just worked.
Yeah.
So now I'm like,
Yeah.
that's why I was wondering. Like,
Yeah, it's
hard to make time
fun.
for stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, you know, yeah, you have to sacrifice sometimes, to
Yeah.
make that time. Yeah.
But,
But yeah, things like that. Nah, man, I'm not like a big club guy or nothing like that. I barely do parties and shit, but I will definitely take the time to go out to a concert, things like that are cool. I think that.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I'm not a total square, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like to chill.
Were you always like that?
Nah, definitely not, bro. Nah, I mean, what, in my younger days, obviously, what young dude doesn't want to be all in the mix, right? But yeah, as I got older, man, I put more emphasis on the structure that I had with my home life and then my business life, and like, I just, I don't know, man. I like to play it safe a little bit when it comes to that. I feel like, I don't know, man. I'm more chill these days,
Yeah.
Like, I just want to kick back. I'm a homebody. I'd rather kick it at the pad.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah, bro, like, life is already too crazy, man. I feel like I've been through so much in my younger days. Like, I made it out of that. It's like, I don't want to keep testing that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I made it this far, man. I'm like, home stretch, baby. Like, I'm just, now I'm just kicking it. I'm just on cruise control, man.
Tell me about your typical day. Do you have like morning routine, night routine? I know a lot of people are into that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean, it varies depending on what I have going on for the day. But like, I'll get up in the morning. I'll take my kids to school every morning. I get home. I kick back for a little bit. And then I leave the house. And then depending on what I have going on, I just start, kind of knocking things off the list. And then I get home. I eat some dinner. And just watch some TV, and that's it, man. That's it.
Well, so like I'm trying to build this list system, and a lot of people have all
Sure.
these different practices. So like,
Yeah.
you just run like a running list, or you use calendars. Like, what do you? You have
I
a
keep it
structure?
simple, man. I just use my iPhone, my little calendar on there, and I just fill it up,
Yeah.
Nothing crazy, as I go. Like, for example, today, if I'm at the shop and somebody comes in and they're like, hey, I'd like to meet with, or they call and they're like, I'd like to meet you, talk about whatever we want, whatever, right? Yeah, I'll write it into the schedule, and then come tomorrow, whatever that's on that schedule, that's what I'm doing that day, and that could vary from a lot of things, man. Murals, meeting with city council members, or even something like meeting with my boys, about talking about something, or painting or whatever, man. It just varies. I'm up and down.
I struggle with that. I'm like, I know I have this super device, right? It does everything, but I'm gonna put everything in this little book that I
Oh,
want to
that's
be outside.
funny.
It's like,
Hey, man, I mean, whatever. Everybody has their different ways, It's just whatever's easiest for you, man.
yeah, it's fun. And then it's always different too, because it's like my work uses one, they use Outlook or something,
Sure.
and use this one uses that one.
Yeah, that gets tricky when you have too many schedules going on, because then you don't even know where to look anymore,
That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's
simplify.
crazy, bro.
I'm trying to simplify my life right now.
Yeah, I suggest that. It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's your work, so what are you gonna do, right? Like, but definitely for me, it's just like I'm one of those people that's kind of a little bit forgetful about things. So I feel like I have to write everything down, bro.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, like, literally everything. Like, if I gotta call you later, chances are I'm putting it on my thing to remind me, like 15 minutes before that I gotta call you, because like I'll forget.
Yeah.
So like, I'm constantly scheduling little things or notes for myself, just trying to keep myself organized,
Everybody's
bro.
got different tools. I
Yeah.
use Siri a lot. Like, I'll be like, remind me.
Sure.
And then I use the addresses, like, remind me
Yeah.
when I get to work. And it's
Yeah,
really
that's
pull up.
right.
It's like,
That's right. That's
so
right.
little stuff like that. I'm good with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Little calendar in my phone. And like 9 calendars for 5.
Yeah, that's a trip.
I gotta
I don't know how you
consolidate.
do that, bro. Yeah. Yeah, no doubt, man.
Yeah.
Like your loafers, by the way. That's
Thank you.
tight. Yeah.
Thank Yeah.
Man, I dig that.
Safety for restaurants too.
Oh, very cool. No, that's chill, bro. Shit. Hell yeah. That's a real play right there. I dig that. That's tight.
Uh, yeah, so those kind of things are important. I think just different practices and stuff for
Sure.
being effective. Trying to juggle all the hats, and then carve out time for family and friends, and that stuff's important. And I'm kind of crash coursing and all that right now. Like I feel like you need to take time and make sure that that's the priority.
You have to, bro. You have to. Yeah, like I said, life's too short, man. You never know. You know? Never know. Especially these days, man. Life is a trip, man. It's crazy out here, bro. A lot of things going on. You don't know when the next time, someone's gonna pop off with another pandemic or, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like it's not
What's
even
next?
like, yeah, like, or they're gonna scare you into thinking like we're gonna get, like going to war and like they're coming for, it's just so much stuff, bro. Like, and not that that stuff even happens. It's just more so that they're trying to, not to get on some weird stuff, but it feels like they're trying to pump fear into you. And then now you're like worried about that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, and again, not to get into like some weird YouTube black hole stuff, but it's true, bro. Like these days,
Everybody loves YouTube Black.
like you just never know anymore, bro. Like it's just so crazy, dude. Like the world is just so crazy right now, bro. So you got to really enjoy these moments because before you know it, like now you can't go to work. You have to be at home, or you have to be doing this, and you have to be doing that, and now your house like price or the value of your house plummeted. So now you know what I mean? Like now you're stressed out over that.
Dust.
Or like
The dust
and,
is
or like
killing
now it's so high and
Yeah.
or the dust. Yeah, exactly.
I've seen
Like
that.
bro, like what the hell? Like oh, you can't eat chicken anymore because there's stuff in it. Like or that's just the crazy stuff. But then you have just regular stuff. Just everyday life, man. We get older. And as we get older, we start realizing like the years are passing by fairly quickly here, bro. So you can't take any of that for granted. You have to definitely make that time because the days turn into months and months turn into years. And then before you know it, you're like, oh shit, like,
I end with you.
that's right.
Yeah, it's true. There's a book called The Daily Stoic. I don't know if you've seen me post some of that. So then there's the other one, The Daily Dad, which is by the same
Sure.
author, which is cool.
Yeah.
I just started poking around in that.
Very cool.
And one of them was like they only ask you so many times.
Mhm.
So whenever you feel like if they ask you help me tie my shoes or how
Right.
do I do this, your kids or
Right.
your family,
Yeah.
whether it could be anybody, your parents, your whatever. Like there's a finite
Yeah.
amount of times they're gonna need you
Yeah.
or want you. So you should just take that.
Yeah, for yourself too, I mean, obviously for your family because you want to be there. You want them to remember you for helping them. But for yourself too, bro, you don't want to be old and bitter and be like, damn, I didn't get to do any of that, Like, it's sad, bro, when you get older and you're like, oh man, like I missed out on all that stuff. And it was only because it's your fault.
Yeah.
There's nobody to blame, It's
Yeah.
like, so don't do that to yourself, Like,
Yeah.
it's that easy, That applies to
Just
everything
decide.
in life, bro. That's not even just that. I mean, you could apply that to business. You could apply that to every day, Like, really see what's in front of you and don't take it for granted, It's very easy to do that, for sure.
Yeah, I was going over it all yesterday. I was like, it's the year of reflection. I told you it was my birthday, right? So
Right.
I started thinking, I'm like, wow, where am I with all this? What am I working on? What am I doing?
Yeah.
And I was just kind of announcing it, right? Like,
Yeah,
today's my birthday.
sure.
This old, around 40.
Yeah.
I've done this, I did that, and I was doing push-ups. Like I do 50 push-ups a day.
Yeah,
I run
yeah.
it, or in a set, and I was like, okay, and I started analyzing all that, and I'm like, wait a minute, and that's where you got to kind of think, as coming out in this amount of time, coming out on the end of 10 years or coming out on however many years I've been doing it. Like, there's stuff I think that we could share or that people would find valuable.
Absolutely.
And so even just trying to have these conversations, I think, helps people.
Definitely, definitely. And it's good to also motivate yourself and have a plan like that too, you know, like every little step matters, you know, like whether you get into an exercise routine or you start reading more or whatever, man, like that's all for you, bro. You
Yeah.
know, you're not doing that for nobody else but yourself, you know. It's when you reflect on life, you start finding out that you're missing things and then you fix that by just simply just doing what you want to do so you don't one day sit there and regret it that
Yeah.
you never did, right?
Yeah.
But it's also cool because you don't always have to even reflect. You just kind of go off your gut feeling, you know? Like I feel like I just always try to just do things that I want to do without, I mean, you can't do everything, but
Yeah.
like, you know, I've taken chances where I just said, well, I'll figure it out as I go, right? Like, including my business and a lot of things I do, bro. I just do them because I know that I'm mentally strong enough and I'm confident enough in myself to know that I'm going to figure it out. And at the worst case scenario, the worst thing that's going to happen is that I learned a lesson. So when I go on and do something else, I have this to reflect on and say, well, that didn't work. And why didn't it work? Because I did this wrong or whatever, right? But it's all lessons, bro. You know, I don't take L's ever. Like, it's always a lesson.
Opportunities to learn.
Absolutely, dog. And that's real. And I know it's like cliche, but it's real, bro. Like, when you apply that and you really just start doing things that make you happy, you're going to find, like, eventually that, like, everything that you're doing, although you can't control it, like it's all a lesson, you know. And then you also have to know that you can't control everything as well, right?
Yeah.
Like you have to know that in your head, like you have no control over things that are beyond your control. Like that's just not feasible. But yeah, man, yeah. I feel like I'm kicking knowledge over here, like
Drops
some
my-
professor or some shit.
That's,
No, but that's just personal experiences, you know.
yeah, that's valuable though. You know, that's the goal.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I run into a lot of like youngsters at the shop, and like they're trying to do things, and in my line of work, like I deal with artists, a lot of like graffiti writers, which is cool, and I support them. I've been there. I know what that's like. I still paint here and there myself, but I'm always like, I've always just when I talk to them, like I make sure to tell them, like, look, what you're doing is dope. There's a purpose for everything, right? But where are you gonna be in 10, 15 years? Like, is that what you're gonna be doing? Because if that's all you're gonna be doing, unless you're gonna physically make money from it, bro, like, there's no end goal to that, Now, granted, you get gratification from your homies and from the people around you, from the streets and all that, but at the end of the day, man, like, how far does that take you, And don't get me wrong, it's dope. I love it. It's a beautiful thing, man, but it's cool to talk to these youngsters and let them know, like, look, I've been there, I've done it. And not to sound like a grown grandpa, like, but, like, it's cool to be my age and to feel like I've learned some things and be able to tell this to somebody that I see in me, like, or that when I look at these dudes, I see a lot of myself in, and yeah, man, I try to be positive with them, and tell them, like, yo, there's ways, bro, you could make something happen. Like, I was just like you, and I took that same thing and made a business from it, and then I took that and expanded on it, because if I would have just stuck selling spray paint to graffiti writers, I would have probably never got anywhere. But I expanded to different horizons, different artists, different mediums, different everything, and then as you go, you're gonna learn different stuff. But if you don't take that leap and your only end result is just to get instant gratification for something that's gonna get covered up more than likely anyways, then, like, what's up, like, what are you doing here, bro?
Yeah.
And that applies to everything, Yeah, it doesn't. That's not even just that. That applies to anything that anybody does. You know,
That's true.
like here's a funny story, bro. Like I I used to wash dishes at the Ace Hotel. All right, when it first opened, I was one of the first employees, and one of the dudes, I'm assuming he was the general manager, maybe even owner. I'm not sure, but he was interviewing me, and he didn't really look like he wanted to hire me. Right? And I was like, all right, whatever. It's just a dishwashing job. I just needed a job. This is way back in the day when it first opened. And I looked up, and in the corner of his office was a little card. And on that card, it was a graffiti tag, and it said Hayes, right? Hayes is a very, very well-known graffiti artist out of New York. And I said, yo, what's up with that? He was like, oh, that's my boy. I was like, oh, shit. He was like, you know who that is? I'm like, dude, like, I write graffiti, bro. Like, I definitely know who that is. He was like, oh, you're into art and stuff? I'm like, yeah, I guess you could say that, you know? I was like, but it's very inspiring to see that here in your office. That lets me know that you're cool, you know? Because you know what's up with that. And he was like, you know what? I like you, man. And he hired me, bro, for that, you know? And I worked at the Ace Hotel, bro, washing dishes. And at that time, I had a clothing line and called Affiliated. I had just started it. And
I think I remember that.
yeah, Affiliated Clothing, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked, and I eventually, one day I was at work and I said, man, what the fuck am I doing here, dude? Like, I'm tripping. I'm supposed to be an entrepreneur. And I got up and I just left one day. And I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew that I didn't want to be washing dishes for sure. And yeah, man, I went hard, bro. And I lived off Affiliated Clothing for several years. You know, just a little local clothing brand that did fairly well, you know. My point is, like, you never really know, you know, what is gonna happen until you take that chance, right? I didn't know what was gonna happen when I left those doors because I had just got that job. I was only there for maybe 3 months. But I took that chance on myself. And then later on, I worked my 9 to 5 prior to Flat Black, and same thing, bro. I told myself, man, like, I really want to start this company where I just sell art supplies and I have a gallery. And I left that job and I started Flat Black. But it was easier for me because I had already done that in the past, right? So it's
Yeah,
just,
you had a little confidence.
yeah, so, and it worked. That's what made it even better, right? So, yeah, man, that's, again, goes back to just betting on yourself, you know? Taking that leap of faith and just knowing that, like, if you really want to do it, you're going to do it, you know? And if you have mouths to feed or you have bills to pay, like, it's going to be rough, but if you really want to make it happen, it's going to happen, you know? It will happen, without a doubt. And again, that applies to any kind of line of work, you know? So, yeah, man, Ace Hotel, shout out to the Ace Hotel, man. That was a cool spot.
Yeah. History, man. There's a lot of history. I mean,
Yeah, a lot of people don't know this, man, but I hosted the first art show ever in that place. That was by the pool. It was like a separate room off to the pool.
up to the right, like that.
Yeah, and then there's like a top deck.
Yeah.
I hosted the first art show there. My boy Pac-Man, Pedro the Bass,
Yeah.
he hosted the first like DJ night thing there, you know.
Way
That
back.
was, yeah, this is way back, bro. Yeah, this is like, I got here in 2005, like the end of 2005.
Mm-hmm.
So that would have been like 2007 or 8 when that happened. Maybe even before that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Funny story too, man. The homie Pac-Man, Pedro the Bass. I've told this story. You probably even heard me say, but first day I'm at the Ace Hotel. First day of work. I'm chilling, trying to figure things out, and then here comes fucking Pac-Man in the bike, like Debo and shit.
Speaker on the back.
Yeah, that would have been yeah, seriously, right at the same time. And homie's he's riding his bike, dude, and out of nowhere. And I'm sorry for even saying this, my dude. It was just too funny not to mention. Homie just fucking eats shit, bro. Bam, falls. First day of work for all of us. Falls, eats shit. Homie had to go to the hospital, bro. You know, they don't even know this cat. You know what I mean? Like, he's not, we're employees, but they don't know us yet, you know? Homie goes to the hospital. Just fucking name. That was a trip, man. What a way to start is correct. And then, yeah, he came back and then did dope things there, you know? To this day, I feel like him, definitely him. I know DJ Day came in later and they started doing those weekly or maybe monthly events in there in the Amigo room. But I know for sure, my boy Pac-Man kicked that off, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So props to that dude, man. Props.
Yeah, he's doing
you know what's up? Yeah, he's still doing it, killing it. I love to see it, bro. I love to see people win, bro. I love to see my friends win. I love to just see people win, dog. It makes me happy and shit. You know, I'm truly not a hater by no means. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love to see people win, and I think that's a good quality to have when you're trying to elevate too. You know, having no hate in your heart, dog. Like, very important, bro. Because there's a lot of hating ass people out there, bro.
My little daughter's saying that right now. Hate in your heart, let it out.
I love it. It's real. Damn, at least you know, at least it ain't something weird like that they're saying on TikTok or something. But no, that's hate in your heart, let it out. That's funny. I know where that's from too. That's funny. But no, that's real.
Yeah.
It's real, bro, and it's a lot of weird people, man. Sometimes, bro, it's a lot of weird people, but you know, you just gotta keep going forward, man. You know,
Keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
I always say that word. Like, be like the clouds, just keep pushing and moving.
I mean, what other
terrain?
Absolutely, bro. What other choice you got, right? Word up.
That's cool shit. Yeah, they got that surf club thing going. Pete's been doing that.
I heard.
They're supposed to be doing the pre-party for Coachella there.
Yeah, I heard
So
that.
cool.
Damn, that's a trip, huh?
Yeah.
I was there when it was knots.
Yeah, they redid it all. I went there the other day for the first brunch or whatever they had.
Oh, really?
Take some
Cool.
photos and stuff.
Yeah, very cool, man.
But yeah, then they announced recently that Coachella's doing I don't know if they're the owners or part owner, investors, something of that place, but they're doing that day party.
You know, I see a lot of things online where people are like bashing it, or they're like, what are you doing? Like, it's a place for rich people, and it's like, I'm not originally from here, so I just see things different. But like, bro, like, how can it hurt anybody? Like, if you don't like it, just don't go. You know? Just say you can't afford it. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. Like.
Yeah.
And I probably can't even afford it, but I'm not gonna talk about it like all negatively. It's dope, yeah, bro. It people are that's jobs. You know what I'm saying? My homie's working there. He's Pac-Man's doing DJ. Shit, they got my vote. You know what I mean? They're letting people like the homie in there and do gigs. That's tight, bro. I mean, the opportunities are there, bro. If people don't take them, that's on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never in a million years figured I would be working with the cities or with, the school districts. Or, I mean, I put myself in that position, bro.
Yeah, that's really
you know what I'm saying? I never was like, oh, they don't accept me or what, or feeling, it's just,
I feel like a lot of people do that. Yeah.
Bro, like, just say you can't do that. You know what I mean? Or like, especially if like you're a DJ or you have a service to offer, like, bro, go over there and see what's up. You know what I mean? You'll never know until you go. But I guess it's easier to just sit behind your computer and be mad. Like, bro, these opportunities are out here, and it's only gonna get bigger and better. People said that about Acrisure, and they probably have season tickets now. You know what I mean? Like,
right?
Bro, it's tight. You know what I mean? Yeah, bro, it's dope. Like, who cares? Like, if you don't like it, don't go. You know what I'm saying? But don't sit there and be mad because somebody else came up from that. Could have been you.
Yeah,
Could have been you. Yeah, that's real. Damn, put that on the shirt. Could have been you. That's a good one, actually.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Shit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you never know. There's always something popping up out here.
It's only gonna get bigger, bro.
Yeah.
You know, it's only gonna get bigger. People are tripping over like this whole Disneyland resort thing or whatever that is.
Yeah,
going
I've heard
on
that
over there.
too.
I mean, I get it, bro. I mean, yeah, we can't afford that. You know, it's not for us though. It's
Yeah.
not built for us, bro. Period. Like, and if you got it like that, then go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares? You know. Now, granted, the only downside to that I feel, and I will agree with some people, is the traffic. I don't know about you, bro, but the traffic has been kind of crazy out here lately, and
Yeah.
it's getting a little, you know, these 10-minute drives are turning into 20, 25-minute drives. But I'm from LA originally, so like, I gotta wait this long between the time that I moved here till now without having traffic, so
Yeah.
I feel like I'm good. You know what I mean? Like a little traffic ain't gonna kill me, bro. I sat on the 405 every day for years, you know, trying to get to work and home, you know. So.
It's like 5 miles, you know.
Bro,
30
yeah,
minutes
yeah,
an hour.
oh, yeah, easily, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, it's the only downside I see, but
But isn't it? It's just gonna be homes, right? Like themed homes. It's not like an actual park.
what's not a theme park. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
in
just
regards to like
Just
like
increasing
rides,
people. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I assume that there's some kind of resort factor to it where you could
Go.
go. Sorry, yeah, you could go and have a day
Yeah.
filled experience, like whatever,
It's all
like.
sponsored by Gold Boys.
You know, that's everywhere you go, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't get away from that. You know, I mean, people are consuming from that. Like, you know, you go on TikTok or Instagram, chances are you're gonna see something that you like on there that's sponsored, and you're gonna probably go buy it. You know, it's just part of the game, bro. Maybe it's elevated there because it's more geared towards the wealthier people. You know, but who cares? It's the same difference, man. It's all the same thing, bro. You know, I dig it.
Sure.
I'm not mad at it. I mean, if I had the money, I probably still wouldn't live there. I don't know about living in the. I don't like Disneyland that much.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I know my wife probably would. She loves Disneyland,
Some
but
people love it. They love
yeah,
it.
I'm not into it like that. I like, you know, if I want to be around Disneyland people, just go to Disneyland. You know what I mean? But living around them, like, damn, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And not only that, but like, you know, some of these
Yeah.
Disney people are, man, they love Disney, bro. It's like, I feel like if you don't have enough Disney decor in your pad, like they're like gonna like shun you away or
Yeah.
something. Like, damn, you know.
Yeah, there's some diehard fans.
And that's cool. I don't knock it, but I go to Disneyland for that.
Season pass people.
Yeah, and that's cool too. I can't even get season passes right now. I'm kind of a little upset about that.
That's a commitment, though. You know, like you gotta have
Yeah.
a level of commitment to go.
Yeah, they don't even. Maybe I'm tripping. Last time I checked, they're not even selling them. So
Yeah, I think they
That's
did kind of try to get rid of them because they're
Yeah.
changing the prices now. It's like based
Yeah.
on occupancy and
yeah.
you gotta like book times and windows. It's a whole
Yeah,
different
bro.
thing now.
Remember when we were little and you go to Disneyland, bro, and it was like 3-hour lines and it was like hot as hell and people were passing out everywhere. That's the Disneyland
Yeah, right.
experience that I remember, bro. It was like going to war, bro. But you got on those rides and you did it, bro, for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
boom,
2 hours, 5
boom,
minutes.
yeah, and you're done, and you're like, man, I did that. You know, I think low key, even as kids, we were learning to. It was like teaching us to just be patient, and
Yeah.
the reward will be at the end. You know, like,
delayed gratification.
yeah,
Dude, I try to do that with my kids now. You can have one now, but you could have two.
that's important, bro.
It don't work.
Nah,
But it will.
kids don't care.
But it will.
They're kids. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah,
For sure.
kids gonna be kids. It's all good.
Yeah, this has been a whole adventure, you know, going through trying to figure out all this stuff. And you with your Flat Black podcast too. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I'm, being committed to that has been a problem for me. Not a problem, but it's been challenging
Yeah.
to keep up with my podcast because, it's kind of secondary in a lot of things that I'm doing. But I get it. It's hard, bro. It's hard to be committed to this. it's hard to be committed to this when you're probably not going to generate anything from it right away. But you know that if you did, and you came every day, and you did show, or you hosted other podcasts, eventually it would pay off, you know.
Yeah.
But having to find the time to actually commit to it, to say, okay, this is what I'm gonna run with, you know.
Yeah.
That's hard, and I give props to the people that commit to just podcasts, because that's no different than me opening up a store. That's no different than other people following their dreams. It's what they want to do, right? To me, having a podcast isn't, I'd rather have a store before I have a podcast, right? But that's me. But there is people that having a podcast is like having a store. Like, that's how they plan on generating income. And you can generate income from podcasts these
it's like a
days,
whole
which is
route of
amazing, bro.
sponsorships.
Absolutely. Like, if you do it right, you're in, bro. You know, you're in the game. And I kudos to all those people, man, because it's tough, bro. Just like anything else, you know. And then there's people that do it on the side too, you know, and that's dope as hell, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I commend you for taking it this far, and you told me when I first came here, you were like, you know, I have this vision, and every time I came here, you've elevated, you know, and there's new cameras or microphones or setup things, or, you know, it's like I could see your drive for it, you know, and that's gonna pay off, you know, because you're committed to it, you know, and that's dope. You know, we tend to not like really step outside the box and really look at what we've built, you know, but you should definitely be thankful, or, you know, you should be happy about what you've done so far, bro. Yeah, it's dope.
Just keep building it.
That's it, bro. Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I like that it's just something kind of casual. So with the new space, you know, that'll be cool. I haven't really announced anything yet, but
Yep.
this will probably come out after
Mm-hmm.
all that happens. But,
Mm-hmm.
it'll be exciting to
I'm excited to be in there.
get all this.
Yeah, I'm excited to see you grow, bro. And you know, I want to be a part of that. You know, I want to do more podcasts of my own. And I was talking to Chad about that, about like doing our own, me and him. I just, you know, I think it's fun, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I think if you can, do it. You know, especially, like, I feel like us as men, especially men in general, like, we hold so much in. You know, we don't really talk about too much, you know. Most of the time people ask us, like, are you cool or are you okay? And we're always going to answer yes, right? Like, oh, I'm cool, you know. That's just how I feel like we're kind of, in a sense, trained to be, right?
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like having a podcast is important because we get to speak, right? And a lot of these things start coming out, and then you start realizing, like, oh shit, people want to listen to it. You know, it's one thing to talk amongst your homies and you guys are talking bullshit, you know, you messing around.
Yeah.
But it's like another when you're almost like it's more serious, you know. Even though it's fun, it's still like you're doing something, right?
Yeah.
So you got to be serious about it. And I think that's important. You know, I think more people should do that, men and women, and just talk. You know, talk about how you feel, talk about what's going on, and maybe even feed off each other. You know, feed off that energy.
Yeah.
You know,
I think that's the most important part right there.
I think that's the best part.
Seeing it's relatable and like someone else is going through something.
Bro, there's absolutely, I mean, there's always someone that's gonna relate to you, bro, because there just is, you know. Yeah, bro. I've always known that, and I've always been the type of person, like, I like to talk about it, but I'm a man of action too, you know. I like to do things that people can say, man, like, he did that, as an example of what you can do. Yeah. And a podcast is that, because you have, you know, someone that wants to start one, and then they see your journey, maybe someone local, and you did it, you know, and it's like inspiring, you know what I mean? So like, why can't you do it? You know what I mean? Like, anybody could do it if you're dedicated
You just
enough,
have to do it.
right? You just have to, that's the first step, right?
Do it.
Just do it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
And it's, you know, that, again, that applies to so many different kinds of things, you know? But yeah, I think it's important, man, for people to talk, even if you don't show your face, you know, just have a mic. You know what I'm saying? Express your feelings, man. You never know, man. You never know who's listening, and you never know who you're gonna inspire. You know, you never know who needs to hear you.
Yeah,
You know, there's people out there that might be going through something similar to you, and you might have just a little bit more strength in you, you know, that they can definitely feed off of, you know, and they just need that little bit of like just hope. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So yeah, man.
Definitely.
Podcasts are cool.
Keep coming.
Yeah, hell yeah, please do.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so it's good. I'm happy to have you.
Hell
Thank you
yeah.
guys for helping me.
Man, this is dope. Nah, don't mention it. Thank you for reaching out and allowing me to be a part of this, you know. I think it's something special. I think just in general, since here in the Coachella Valley, I feel like there's a lot going on, man, you know, with podcasts and different stores opening, and it's like the culture's growing, you know what I mean? I love to see it, bro. I love to see what's happening out here, you know. I don't like to just put myself in one little box. Like, I like to just be open to different scenes, different things. And, you know, although my thing is like graffiti art and galleries and stuff, like, that doesn't mean I don't appreciate someone that's opening up a vintage store or record stores, or, you know, and you see, yeah, bro, and you see more and more of that, you know, and it's like exciting to me, dog. Like, I see that and I'm like, damn, that's dope, because I know, for one, when they open it, I know that feeling of like being like excited to open your store and like getting the people in there, you know, and then it's a great feeling, you know, and then going through the motions and like figuring it out, you know, and you get a big buzz in the beginning, and then it just kind of dies out, and you have to figure out, and you start getting creative on how to bring people back and all that shit, man. It's dope. It's an evolution, bro. And then eventually, you know, you make it, or you don't. You know what I'm saying? But those people would have never known if they didn't take that chance, you know? So it's like, I love to see that. I love to see people take chances, bro. It's dope, man. Take a chance, man. Yeah.
You never know, right?
You never know, dog. If I could sell spray paint and get this far, shit, right? You know? Yeah, man. True. I'm really proud of myself and my team and everything that we've accomplished, because it literally was from nothing, bro. You know what I mean? Like, literally from nothing. So, yeah, anybody could do anything, especially if you sell something cool. You know, like records. Who doesn't like? I mean, I love records, bro. So you know, or whatever, man. You know, whatever your thing is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just do it, and you'll see, like, there's people out here that like it too or love it. And if there isn't, like what I experienced in the beginning, where there wasn't that many people, I created a whole culture from it. You know, I created artists, not created them, but I opened up my doors and made people question or wonder, like, what is that? And then I explained to them, and then they were like, oh, cool. Like, I want to try that. Well, yeah, cool. Well, guess what? I sold the stuff that you need to do that. And then they became great artists. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen it time and time again, bro. And now it's like I have a whole, you know, army of homies and artists and that are in this culture now. And it's dope. And all I had to do is just be cool. You know, be cool with everybody, you know, and open my doors. And, you know, it's just what it is, bro.
It's that perfect personality.
Yeah, bro. Or it's just relatable. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Because not everybody will be able to do it. You know, they have their reasons or whatever. But
not everybody. No.
You got it figured out so far.
I don't have it figured out, but I did try it.
That's the thing. Like, when you're doing it, time's passing. You know,
time is passing, and you're learning as you're going.
And
You
it's
know what I
passing either
mean?
way, so it might as well be in a direction you want it to go.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Absolutely. And now that the time's passed and I can look back at it, I'm like, oh, damn, that was a trip, you know? Like, when it's happening, you don't really think that it's happening because you're experiencing it firsthand, but you look back at it, you know, 5, 6, 7 years later, you're like, oh, damn, that led to something, you know? And those little moments, a lot of those little moments led to something, and then it just kind of grew like a tree, you know what I mean? It's just all these branches, and then you see people doing stuff here, and you're like, oh, damn. And not that I had anything to do with their success. Like, I'm not saying like I created
no,
it, but I'm saying like it's
part of
dope. Yeah, it's dope that I was a part of their journey, and that they confided me to give them some kind of, you know, whether it was, you know, whatever,
Feedback, guidance,
something.
and
You know what I mean?
you know?
Yeah, like, yeah, it you know, to see them be successful at what they do is a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming. Man.
My pleasure, bro. Thank you for having me. Oh, yeah.
We'll get it again.
No doubt.
We'll see you next time.
Most definitely. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.